If you're going to be renting out your property and this is your first time, you need to watch this video because I'm going to outline the most important things you need to have a successful business renting out your property. My name is Carlos Rodriguez. I'm a local real estate agent here in Las Vegas that can help you buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So make sure to like this video and subscribe for more real estate content. All right, let's jump into it. At number one, we're going to have your lease agreement. Even when you're renting out to family, because when things go wrong, you're gonna wish you had this lease agreement. You need to treat this like a real business. In the lease agreement, you're gonna basically outline how much you're gonna charge every month, how long that lease agreement is good for, and rule of thumb, you don't wanna make a lease agreement longer than 2 years because then you're stuck with only charging a certain amount of rent and you're not able to increase the rent on them. So 2 years max, then you can renew it after that if they wanna stay longer. You want to outline if there's going to be pets allowed. Are you going to collect the first and last month, which is highly recommended? And who's going to pay for the sewer and trash bill? This is something I had no idea about when I rented out my first property. I understood that we have extra bills that the landlord needs to be aware of before renting out the property. So in my case, I always pay for the sewer bill myself and I charge the trash bill to the tenants. Here in Las Vegas, my trash bill is about $45 every quarter, so I charge $15 a month to cover that bill. Also, make it very clear on the minimum amount of time that you need for them to give you a notice when they're moving out. I put 3 months on my agreements because I want to know way ahead of time so I can prepare for it. You also want to create a budget where the tenant covers repairs themselves. For example, in my lease agreements, I put $100. So if there's a repair needed and it's costing less than $100, then the tenant covers it as long as the repairs were done by my handyman. I have a handyman that I use for everything and he does all the work at the house. I don't want anybody else walking in there and trying to fix things. Only my handyman goes in there to fix things. So if the repair is going to cost less than $100, the tenant takes care of it and we just move on. The second most important thing is screening your tenants properly. The most important thing that you have to check is if they have past evictions. A good way is by calling their previous landlord where they were living at to see if they paid on time, if he had to evict them, or if he had any problems with them. You also want to verify income and credit score. You want to make sure that their job is stable, they have enough income to cover the rent, and you want to make sure they make at least 3 times what the rent is. If the rent's $1,000, they got to make at least $3,000 or more every single month for them to qualify to rent this property. And number 3, set clear expectations with them upfront. What happens if they pay late? How much is the late fee? How soon will the eviction notice be posted if they don't pay? These things are going to come into play when you have a tenant that starts being difficult and not paying on time. This happened to me actually. I had a tenant that I was managing the property myself. And she felt like she could just come to me and express her problems and issues and I was going to understand and be lenient, which I was for 6 months. She would pay me half up front, then she would make payments throughout the weeks, and it was just a hassle. So I had to evict her after 6 months and it was a pain. So if you're thinking about renting on a property, I would definitely consult with multiple management companies to see if it'll be a better fit for you just to hire them and let them manage the property for you. If not, if you feel pretty confident that you can do it, it's very easy as long as you have a lease agreement in place that is enforceable. If not, you're going to run into a bunch of problems and you're going to hate being a landlord.